Rush Limbaugh predicts that the current lockdowns, the stay-at-home, in fact, imprisonment orders of various state governors are starting to cause a great deal of civil unrest and could break into civil war. I have to tell you, I've been saying this for a long time. Rush is right. I don't know that there's going to be a full-fledged civil war, but there's going to be a lot of violence, and I don't want to see that. And that's why when we brought our lawsuit for Ben Stein in Sacramento, California, against Governor Gavin Newsom, we sought to have these orders relaxed. And in fact, Governor Newsom did, to some extent, relax his order, but it's not enough, and neither is it enough in various states around the United States. So I urge these governors to sober up, to do the right thing, to not keep people locked in their homes, and to allow this country to get back to its business, because we've been brought not just to our knees health-wise, but also financially, in terms of lost jobs, in terms of lost businesses, and a lot of other types of damage. And that's why we brought our class action lawsuit in Dallas, Texas, for $20 trillion to have the Chinese pay. And it's why we brought our criminal case in The Hague, Holland. And this is very important that you support it with tax-deductible contributions. Sign up to see if you qualify as a plaintiff. We'll be filing cases in other states as well. We have a case in Jerusalem, Israel, and the information that we're gathering there will also be used in our case here. We already have experts who will testify that this was a bioweapon and that China has no immunity, the communist Chinese, that is, from suit. Now, they have a lot of assets in this country. They can be attached, and we're confident of success in the end. But we, the American people, need to do it for ourselves. Again, the government does nothing. And you can see that when our so-called government actually tries to do something, even the Trump Justice Department, by dismissing the indictment against General Flynn, and I might add, it wasn't just an indictment, but General Flynn pled guilty to committing perjury, to lying to FBI agents. He never should have done that. He was sold down the river by his lawyers at Covington and Burling, which is the law firm of former Attorney General Eric Holder, and we know all about him. He made a mistake. Now, I can also understand why the judge is upset. The judge feels like he's been toyed with. This is Judge Emmett Sullivan. He is a Clinton appointee, but he's probably the fairest of the Clinton appointees on that bench. I don't like the fact that he called General Flynn a traitor. That was not right. But what's making the thing worse, as I said yesterday, are the attacks on Fox News against this judge. I know this judge very well. He's going to react, and he already has reacted. He appointed a retired judge to take the position that Flynn should not have his plea agreement withdrawn, and he's accepting amicus briefs from all over creation. So if Sean Hannity and Fox think they're doing General Flynn a favor, they have another thing coming to them. This is not the way to proceed with this particular case. Now, I'm very critical of judges, and I say it as I mean it. But in this particular case, this is not about Larry Klayman. It's not about Freedom Watch. It's not about what I used to do at Judicial Watch, which Judicial Watch really doesn't do much of anymore with regard to policing judges. Freedom Watch does. It's about General Flynn. So his lawyer, Sidney Powell, and her colleagues, so to speak, Sean Hannity and company, need to cool it right now and not jack this thing up to boost their ratings and advertising dollars. You're just going to get this judge on the defense, and he's going to dig his heels in, and he does have the right to block the withdrawal of the plea agreement. He asked Flynn on several occasions if he was guilty, and Flynn said yes. He never should have said yes if he didn't feel that way. So you can understand how Judge Sullivan feels about that. And I'm not one that ordinarily defends any of the judges on the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, the most politicized court in the country, even more politicized than the federal court in San Francisco and the Ninth Circuit also in San Francisco. And let me tell you something about the way this Justice Department does things, or should I say doesn't do things. At the same time that they're moving to dismiss the indictment for General Flynn, they continue with their appeal against Cliven Bundy, his sons, and the peaceful protesters at Bunkerville who successfully stood down the government. It's an outrage, and you should be contacting William Barr and saying, give the Bundys the same courtesy professionally and same scrutiny that you gave with regard to General Flynn. The Bundys are not a member of the Washington establishment, and that's why they don't get the special treatment, and nor do you or me if we were involved. Now, let me tell you something else that's happening, and this is interesting. The chairman of the Senate Intel Committee, Richard Burr, who basically has taken a pass, I lobbied him several years ago to look into the mass surveillance against the American people, just had a warrant served upon him by the FBI. Don't expect anything to really happen in the end, but he dumped millions of dollars of shares of stock as he was getting intelligence briefings before the rest of us on the coronavirus. It's a type of insider trading, but it also violates other statutes. The Congress has exempted itself from insider trading, but there's other potential criminal liability. Now, I do commend the FBI for serving that warrant on him. There are others who did the same thing. Senator Dianne Feinstein from California, and another one whose name escapes me right now. And there are probably more. And this is the privilege of what goes on in Washington, D.C. They think they're the new American nobility. They think they can do whatever they want. Your Freedom Watch will hold them accountable. Do not expect Barr's Justice Department to hold a Republican senator accountable. That won't happen. But at least they serve the subpoena to make it look like they're doing something, because this is an outrage. And last but not least, let's talk about what's going on just generally in this country today. The country is coming apart at the seams. The partisan warfare is getting much more pronounced. The president's reelection is in jeopardy. Frankly, the fact that Joe Biden is behind closed doors in his basement or wherever he's hiding is helping him, because people are just gathering up angst and anger towards the president, because this thing goes on and on and on. There's no clear message coming out of the White House, and there needs to be. Now, this is constructive criticism. I love the president. I personally want to see him reelected. I don't tell people who to vote for as the head of Freedom Watch, but he is in jeopardy right now. And he better get his act together quickly, and he better not be pardoning other people right now, like Stone or even Flynn, because that puts him behind the eight ball with regard to independent voters. And frankly, Flynn doesn't want a pardon. He wants to be dismissed. That'll ruin his reputation. But Stone deserves what he's getting, and he should go into the clink, so to speak. You can't lie under oath. You can't subvert justice. You can't obstruct justice and expect that you're going to get off scot-free under any circumstance. But you have my pledge that we at Freedom Watch, once this coronavirus thing subsides to some degree, we will reconvene our citizens' grand juries. We will indict Comey. We will indict McCabe. We will indict the intel czars of Obama, Clapper and Brennan, who unmasked all of this information, not just with regard to Flynn, but other people in violation of our national security laws. We'll indict Obama, who was obviously at the head of this. We will indict Biden. We will indict all of them. We will try them. We will convict them, and we will have them sentenced. And we'll ask the president to carry those sentences out. And if he does not, we will see where we go from that point. Citizens do have a right of arrest. We're not going to be violent. We're going to be peaceful. But frankly, the American people need to take matters into their own hands, legally and peacefully. And that's why we have brought this lawsuit with regard to the communist Chinese, the Chi-Coms, to make them pay for the damage they have done to our country, and why we're bringing other cases in the rest of the world. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Support this. Sign up to see if you qualify to be a class action plaintiff. We need the tax-deductible contributions to get bigger. We need to hire more lawyers, paralegals. We need to file more cases. We need to travel when there are hearings so I can be there in person. We need to take security measures because the communist Chinese are dangerous. So thank you for supporting us, and share this podcast. You can find it at iTunes, at Spotify, at Amazon Fire, at Roku, at Facebook. And of course, you can find it at freedomwatchusa.org. And listen to our radio show this weekend, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Spread that far and wide as well. At Radio America, you get the truth. You don't get packaged BS to raise advertising dollars and make more money like you get at Fox News. Fox News is coming down. Fox News is no longer the network that it was. And we need to now get the word out in other ways, that are in honest ways, that aren't manipulative ways, that aren't profiting off the backs of the American people. So God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. God save America. And I'll be back tomorrow with another special edition of our podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.